All right, let's take a minute and give it up for podcasts. Am I right? No, but seriously, if you haven't heard about Anchor, it's literally the easiest way to make podcasts, so let me explain. One, it's free. Two, it literally gives you all the tools you need in order to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer, which is amazing. Also, the best part, in my opinion, is that it'll distribute your podcast for you. So you can hear it on like Spotify, Apple Podcasts, literally anywhere you listen to podcasts. Pretty amazing, and you literally have to do nothing. The other thing is you can make money from your podcast. There's no like minimum listenership required. So that's kind of cool. But yeah, seriously, if you're like into podcasts and thinking about making one, I would check it out because it's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. So yeah, go ahead, download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. What are you waiting for?
I saw like a snippet of an interview that he did. What is his name? So that I can... Ke Huy Quan? And he was on, not Fallon, one of the Jimmys. Not the one that laughs a lot, but the other one. And he was on that show. And,
Corden?
Who?
The music one?
Jimmy.
It's like appropriate gay people all the time.
Not the British one. Not the British guy.
Okay.
Yeah, there's another one. But anyway.
But it's not Fallon?
Kimmel? Yeah.
Oh, LOL.
Yeah, so he was on that. I didn't watch the whole interview. But there's a part where they mentioned the fact that he hasn't been in parts since he was really young. And Jimmy Kimmel's like, wow, well, like, welcome back to show business, da-da-da. That was so irritating to me because he has continued to work in show business just behind the scenes. Like, he has done stunt coordination for, like, a lot of movies. And, like, yeah, like, fight coordination. And and like, the audience cheered, and I was like, that was so disrespectful, like, as if he left
It's
and
not like
back
there's so many other people that go into making films that aren't on screen.
Like, literally, I was like, okay, first of all, he's still in the industry.
That's an entire business.
Yeah, and also, like, the fact that he wasn't acting for a long time was not, like, a decision. Like, that was, you know? It was, like, he's like, wow, welcome back. Like, that was, like, the most tone-deaf shit I've ever seen in my life, and I was like, I felt so bad that he had to fucking act like, you know, like it was a compliment. So weird.
That's dumb.
Yeah.
I would have been like, okay, I mean, I never went anywhere, so thanks, I guess.
Dude, I know. It sucks.
I'm like, what does that mean?
Yeah, because
explain
like,
that.
To be nice. Yeah.
I don't know why I said Corden. You said Jimmy. His name's definitely James.
It's like the same.
Yeah, Jimmy's a nickname for James.
Yeah.
Why do they all have the same name?
Oh my god, I wish I could laugh. Oh my god. You're so right.
I'm very confused.
That's a conspiracy.
Like, not only are most of the late night people white men, but like the majority of them also have the same name. That's
really sus.
Very weird. This is like a cult or something.
It is, actually, yeah. Most things are, I feel.
This is like that sorority in Scream Queens where they all have the same name. They like go by the name Chanel, and they're all just different like versions of the Chanel perfume.
What the fuck? That was an actual thing?
Well, it was like a joke.
Oh, okay. Like Heather's?
That entire show was like satire, but that was like one of the... It was funny. I was like, but this is like real life. They just all have the same name. That's really weird. Anyway.
Okay, well, I'll introduce it then, at least, right?
Yes.
Hello and welcome. I'm Victoria.
And I'm Serena.
And together, we're Femme Noir.
This podcast is all about women, specifically in film.
We're going to review and analyze movies that are written by, directed by, or starring women. And we can't wait for you to join us.
Tune in wherever you listen to podcasts.
Alright, so in this episode, we are going to be talking about the recently widely released film, Everything Everywhere All at Once. Excuse my voice, it sounds disgusting. I'm in a fucking COVID rehab recovery. So
I'll do my best with editing.
Yeah, you're gonna have to carry this one. But we really wanted to talk about this because it was just really amazing. Even though it was written and directed not by women, but stars, or it has women in very prominent positions in the narrative, and like a nice mother-daughter relationship and that kind of stuff. So we wanted to talk about it. So okay, so we're gonna start off with things that we've seen and liked this week. Current events and that kind of stuff. Then we'll go into talking about the movie, both first impressions and then more critically things that we liked and things that worked for it and things that didn't. And then we will rate the movie. Oh, are we gonna do FMF still?
Sure, why not? We could do that for, but we just couldn't do it for Turning Red. That would have been very wrong.
It's very true. Okay, yeah. So we'll do FMF for this movie. And then we'll rate the movie and then give you some recommendations if you like this
We will not do FMF for children's movies.
I know.
Predominantly featuring children.
I know. You know, these kids are pretty wild.
That is a line I will not cross.
It's true. I'm trying to think things that I've seen this week. I just watched the movie Gattaca. Have you seen that?
Gattaca?
Yeah, I have never heard of it before. It was so good. It's on
Interesting.
Netflix. It's from the 90s.
I watched a lot of movies this week for some reason.
That's good.
I think it's because like I'm definitely in finals week and I'm just like I don't want to like think about it. So any free time I have, I just put on like TV or a movie.
You have finals already? You're so lucky.
Dude. Crazy. I know, it's crazy. Like, this is our last week of classes, and then next week would theoretically be finals week, but none of our professors do that extra week unless we have, like, presentations or something.
Dude, so you're done? You're graduating? When's graduation?
I walk. Okay, so I walk May 15.
Oh my god,
but
is that not next
week? But I have to take, like, a summer course, like like 6-week summer course, because of some like stupid like technicality thing. They're like, theoretically you don't apply, you don't have all of your credits for like the specific major, but you have like over 170 credits for just school in general. So like we're just gonna let you walk and then just take this course online over the summer, and I'll theoretically graduate in August. But I get to walk in May.
Dude, that's literally like next week. Like by next week.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. That's gonna be so fun. Is it in person?
Yeah.
It's
at the Viejas Arena, San Diego.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
It's weird because I've been there for so many concerts. But now I guess
ultimate
I'm going to be there for not a concert. It's all about
so
me this time. I'm just kidding.
Yes.
There's so many other students.
Oh, that's going to be awesome. Wow.
But I did watch a lot of movies this past week. I watched because obviously as a film major, you have to watch movies for class. So for one class, I watched The Hurt Locker.
Ooh, yes.
Yeah, which was I've seen that movie a lot and it's still so great. Like it's just such a good movie. And then I was attempting to watch this like Clint Eastwood film because reasons I can't remember. And like they were good reasons. We were going to talk about it in the terms of like masculinity and like performative masculinity especially, and how closely tied it is to like violence. It was his film White Hunter, Black Heart. And I'm gonna be honest, it was kind of boring, so I didn't finish it. It's like he plays this like character that is like a satire of this like dude that decided that he like made movies or something, and then was like, oh, I'm actually just gonna like go to Africa and make a film. But then when he was there, you just decided, I actually just want to kill an elephant so bad. And then
What?
you like, yeah. I can't remember. I didn't finish it. I'm not gonna lie.
Weird.
I wasn't into it. I was like, not only because I don't really like Clint Eastwood, like I do not understand the appeal, but like, oh my god, it was so bad. Like they were so over the top with like how like sexist and like grossly masculine the guy was, and I was just like, you know what? I don't want to watch this.
Yeah.
I was like, I get what you're doing, but I don't want it.
Yeah.
There was like a line in it when he's talking, like they're doing it on purpose to make fun of it, but it was still just like, I don't want it near me. Like one of the lines he said was like, isn't it hard remembering after you've had the dame why you chased her in the first place? And I was like, that is disgusting, and no. And I was like, I cannot. I was like, I get it, that's, yeah, people say that, but like, I didn't want that today.
Yeah. It's very,
so I decided,
my wife tricked me into marriage energy.
Yeah. And this was like a 10-minute long conversation in the film. So I was just like, yeah, really decided, like, I'm not sure you guys actually did this as satire now. This is a little too on the nose, you know? The
Like,
lines between is this reality and is this a joke are blurring.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm trying to think. I did watch another movie. I just can't remember what it was. Oh, I watched I can't remember what it's called. It's like All the Knives or something. It's on Amazon. School? No, I just put it on to eat breakfast.
And it was good?
It's not bad. Like,
okay.
I would watch it again, like, and be more focused on it. Because, like, I definitely just put it on to, like, eat breakfast. And, like, I finished it. But it was really interesting because it's, like, this couple that, like, something's happening and they are no longer together. They're divorced. But it has to do with some issue that happened when they were both married and CIA agents on a case that they both worked on. And so, like, they meet and they talk about, like, what were you hiding from me? What was I hiding from you? Who was I in contact with? Who were you in contact with? What actually happened that night? Because now this is, like, staring us in the face and we have to, like, do this. And so it's, like, told in flashback of, like, from them sitting there and, like, telling each other. So it's interesting because theoretically they're both, like, unreliable narrators. And you're watching the story, like, come to a head when, like, the actual issue is, like, placed to the audience, like, towards the end of the movie. Because they talk around it, but they don't necessarily tell you, like, what it is. You just know that it has to do with, like, all of these things. And so I thought it was definitely an interesting, like, way that it played out writing-wise. And, like, the directing was good. I don't really remember, like, plot details, but I enjoyed all of the rest of it.
That does sound good. If you remember what it's called, tell me.
Yeah, it's, like, it's got Chris Pine and, like, Tandy Newton.
I don't know.
It's on Amazon right now. Something about knives. All the knives.
All the old knives?
Yes,
oh, it just came out.
All the old knives.
Oh,
I didn't
shit.
have to pay because it was on Amazon, and I have Amazon, like, Student Prime or whatever.
Ooh, that's what's up. Okay, maybe I'll watch it. That sounds good.
I also binge watched the entire first season of Russian Doll so that I could watch the second season.
Okay, I've heard it's so good. What is the
No,
review?
it's, like, amazing.
Okay, that's what I thought. I think Jen told me.
You know why?
Like,
you want to know why? Like, not only does it have Natasha Lyonne, but Jamie Babbitt directs it.
Oh, yeah, the girl
and she
that
did But I'm a Cheerleader, and it's.
But isn't it like, it's not like a rom-com? It's like a a murder thing, like where she's dying and she needs to figure out why she's dying, something like that?
Yeah, so she, like, pretty much dies on her birthday and then, like, just keeps dying and, like, reliving the same day. So it's like a weird, twisted Groundhog Day, and they have to figure out, like, there's other characters, and it's very... it's right up my alley. It's so confusing and dark. And makes you maybe spiral into, like, an existential, like, crisis a little bit, because that's definitely what the characters are going through. But it's really well written, and the plot's super cool, and I definitely liked how they ended the first season. So I will be watching the second season, but I will probably wait until I can actually, like, just binge the whole thing.
I'm so curious. I gotta watch at least the first episode, because I've been wanting to watch it for the longest time.
Mm-hmm.
And so now that you say it's amazing, I'm like, oh, I gotta just see what's up for myself.
Yeah. I watched the first 2 episodes of Under the Banner of Heaven with Andrew Garfield. And that one, I honestly am like, I can't wait, actually, to see what happens, because this is such an intriguing story. I'm not quite sure how Mormons feel about it, though.
It's a Mormon show?
It's, like, about this, like, true story, basically, that happened, where, like, that, like, had to do with, like, it was really big, and it had to do with, like, the Mormon community, because essentially, like, there's a murder that happens against a girl and her, like, baby, and her husband, like, lives, and they're like, okay, the husband did it, but then they're kind of like, maybe he didn't do it, because of, like, these very odd, like, his family was, like, deeply enrooted in, like, Mormonism, but they had their own version of it, so, like, they did a lot of weird things, and they were kind of like, because the lead detective is also Mormon, so he started out being like, oh shoot, like, this really sucks, like, I can't believe, like, this would happen, and then he's like, oh my gosh, people in our own Latter-day Saint community could have done this, and it's, like, a true story, and it's crazy, and his acting is so good, and I'm intrigued. Like, I am so intrigued, so I will be finishing that, and I cannot wait for the next episode.
I can't believe that. Oh, yeah, what?
Oh, no, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I can't believe Andrew Garfield is in that, because he was also in The Eyes of Tammy Faye. Did you know that? I didn't know that. And that one's about that. Yeah, that one's about, like Christian, like
the like televangelists thing.
Yeah, and how they were scamming. So he's playing all the fields. He's doing all that religious, like, crimes.
His acting is great.
He's amazing. Yeah.
Every time I see him act, I'm just like, wow, he's so good. And then the girl that plays the lead, I literally cannot remember her name. I never can remember her name.
Wait, in Tammy Faye or in the one you saw?
In Under the Banner of Heaven. Oh, she's in Fresh, which I really want to talk about. Girl? Mm-hmm. And then she was the lead girl in Normal People with Paul Mescal.
Is that the guy that's dating, what's her name?
Phoebe Bridgers.
I remembered. I can be relevant.
Yeah, and then I started watching The Flight Attendant because that's back on TV now.
Wow, you watch so much stuff. Holy shit.
Yeah. People tell me this a lot, and then I don't realize it until I'm saying out loud how many things are. Like, that was just in a week. Also, Moon Knight. I am completely caught up on that as well.
That's crazy.
And Young Justice.
Dude, I literally have never watched that much TV in my life combined.
It's because I absolutely have to multitask while I'm doing things, so I just watch TV while I'm doing, like, other things, and I don't know, for some reason, both of them get done.
That makes sense.
Like, I don't know, man. Brain's weird. She don't know why she's like this.
Okay, well. Okay, yeah, we can start talking about we can start with kind of like how we heard about the movie and like the trailers and stuff, because I remember you sent me the trailer like months ago, like back in December.
Like as soon as they dropped like the first image of Everything Everywhere All at Once, I was like, yo, this is gonna be so good.
Yeah, it seemed cool, but then I kind of didn't know what it was gonna be about. I remember watching the original trailer and I was like, I don't really know what they're trying to do here, and like I didn't.
Dude, yeah, I was like, I don't know what this is.
Yeah.
And then I think like the limited release, a lot of the people that I follow that like talk about like movies and pop culture and everything were just like, yo, I saw the limited release of this movie and let me tell you, it's amazing. And yeah, I was like, yo, like one lady, I follow her specifically because she's like really big into AAPI representation on screen, and women as well, because she is a woman. And she was like, dude, the way that like the women are portrayed in this movie and that like Asian culture is portrayed in this movie is absolutely amazing, and it's so cool that like, because like the guy that wrote it, he is Asian, so a lot of it was based upon like things that he saw like around his culture and everything, and it was super cool. And then he was like, but to have the like female characters be the leads and for their like their representation on screen to feel so authentic and to be so rooted in like not just themselves as the characters written, but also like in the actresses that played them, was just absolutely amazing. And so I was so excited to see it. Like all I knew was multiple universes and Michelle Yeoh. So I was like, there's gonna be kung fu, and I was really excited because I love when Michelle Yeoh gets to do kung fu. And I get very excited for like the choreographed things, especially when it's like indie, because I don't know, they're just a little bit more, they shoot it differently. Like Studio Marvel type, they shoot it very like, it's, I don't know, it's weird.
It's boring.
It's different.
Yeah.
It's like too choreographed.
Exactly, yeah. Hollywood.
Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, and so yeah, that was me.
Yeah, I heard amazing things about it, but nothing specific. Just everyone being like, this will be the best movie you ever see. And I kind of like that. I kind of liked that relatively I kind of went in raw, which maybe is what they're kind of trying to do with the trailer. Like, they don't give you that many, because they very well could have had like, you know, sequences of like, you know, I don't know, more multiverse stuff, but
yeah, or like what exactly the plot was.
Exactly,
like literally they just told you they just said, Evelyn, there's multiple universes and you have to save them. And like we don't know what she's fighting against, what the villain is, like none of that, and it's so awesome.
Yeah, and I think that was kind of good because I do be getting disappointed sometimes after watching trailers. Oh my god, recently, have you seen The Northman yet?
No, I want to watch it.
Dude,
I found Robert Ebert's review hysterical.
Really?
Dude, did you see that?
No.
Letterboxd like posted a thing on their Instagram and they were like, The Northman, and then they were like, they quoted Robert Ebert's review, and it was this was yet another movie where I kept wanting to see penises and yet did not get penises. And I was like, what? What does that mean?
No, it's funny because I did see something where they asked him, Robert Eggers, like, how did you shoot? Because there's a scene where they're sword fighting and they're naked, and they were like, how did you shoot that scene? And he's like, yeah, like, we actually had to, like, CGI some dicks because, like, they were wearing like thongs, right? And he's like, we didn't want them to look too Ken dollish, and so we had to like CGI some dick.
Funny.
But like during the scene, I didn't even see anything, so I don't even know. It was false advertising.
Interesting.
I know.
Because yeah, he does just do a lot of like. I mean, The Lighthouse is completely phallic, so.
Oh, definitely. I was just
so I can understand why people were like, this is gonna have penises, right?
Yeah. We were like, hello?
So
Where's
funny.
the homoeroticism? Yeah. The trailer was so good. Like, it made it seem like it was gonna be, like, really action-y and stuff. It, like, wasn't. It was really, like...
slow?
I don't want to say slow, because things were happening, but there just wasn't as much, like, action and drama that I was anticipating. which is just, that's when a trailer will let you down.
Mm.
So it's a good example.
I think I read a review that said something similar, because I haven't seen the trailer. I've just seen like stills.
Oh, I saw the trailer at the theaters. I can't remember what movie, but I was like, oh, it gave me chills. I was like, this is gonna slap. But no. It's just like, okay, whatever. Okay, yeah, but then first watch, I went and saw it with my friend. First, it wasn't gonna show in oh my god, it wasn't gonna show in Santa Cruz.
Everything Everywhere?
Yeah, because sometimes like small movies don't even make it here.
Dang.
But then I kept checking the dates, and then finally some dates popped up, and there was like 2 showings. And then so I told my friend from class, I was like, he really wanted to see it, and I was like, there's showings now. And so we got tickets to the showings, whatever. We went on the first day. We went with like a couple of people, and I was crying like nonstop from the point where she is like, I've always hated this place, and just starts ruining all of her multiverse lives.
Yeah.
From that point, that was still, there's like 40 minutes left of the movie. Man. I was just nonstop crying. Like, it's incredible because it didn't really fit any sort of, I don't want to say structure, but like, what's that one where they say like act 1, act 2, like yeah, how you just said the third act and stuff. It almost felt like it didn't fit that, because I even saw someone
it's because they had so many plot lines.
Yes.
And then they like actually took a really long time to like actually close all of them.
Yes.
And so like a lot of people have been saying like it's really good, but it does feel a bit long, and that's why, because we don't do that right now in movies.
No,
we just leave things on a cliffhanger.
Exactly. I told you this before, that when I really like a movie, I like to look at reviews of people that hated it. And one of the reviews of someone that hated
Who hated this movie?
Yeah, I'm like, bitch, okay, you don't have a soul. But they said that they took too long to introduce the multiverse stuff. And I was like, you know what? Because they were like, oh, that whole first part is all just introducing the mechanics. And I was like, I'm gonna fight this person a little bit, because I don't think that it was all just introducing. Like, things are happening that are relevant throughout the movie in conjunction with you and the audience figuring out, okay, this is how you can verse jump, this is how you do this. Like, it's not just okay, they're just explaining it for 40 minutes. Like, other things are happening. Like, you're understanding her relationship with, you know, the husband, and with the woman at the tax
with like every character that you see, actually.
Yeah, and like you're seeing like the other universe, and like other things are happening. So like I was kind of like upset about that, because I was like, I feel like you're kind of missing the point. Like, if you think of it in terms of those structured terms and those structured things, where okay, this is the part of the movie where you introduce a mechanic, this is the part where you use the mechanic. I'm like, you can't think of it like that, because this movie doesn't do that. They're doing a lot of things at once.
Yeah. And you definitely see it like on the second watch, because I did see it twice, because it's so good. Yes. Oh my god. But like the second time I was watching it, I was like, all of the things that happen throughout the movie, like they are in very much the first like first like chapter, like first like 5-minute sequence. Like everything that happens is connected to that, and I was like, that's kind of insane. Like they have that like scene, because I think it opens with the mirror. Yeah, it's the mirror. That's and memorable. It's the reflection of them like doing whatever, and that's like a totally separate universe from the one that we're actually about to jump into. And it's so interesting, because we see the mirror, and then we go into the wide frame of her sitting at the table, and it comes up with like chapter 1, everything. But then, like, you see her husband come in, he's talking whatever, and they introduce, like, the googly eyes, and, like, how the father's an older generation, and they're talking about how, like, oh, yeah, we, like, need a daughter for this, we need a daughter for that, where is she, like, blah, blah, blah. She finally shows up, and then they're like, oh, my gosh, you're here. Oh, my gosh, no, husband, you didn't paint it the right white color that... Like, we have 2 different types of white, and I asked you which kind of white you did, and you said it was the right white, and then I went downstairs and realized that it wasn't the right white. And it was like all of those things are so integral to the characters, like, arcs in each universe that they are in, and it was so good. Like the daughter coming and being like, hey, can my girlfriend come? And she's like, this is not a good time to ask me this question. Like, ask me this question later. I'm far too busy. Like, it was such a great establishment of where each of those characters were and how each of those characters were going to like end, but also like connect to each other in all of their universes.
Yeah, I think people tend to, or at least for me, when a movie packs a lot, it feels long. But I think that that's good because, yeah, you're right. They didn't waste any time. Like, every single thing you see and every single thing they say is important. There's no time wasting at all, which is crazy because it's like almost 2.5 hours. It is a lot, but honestly, it could be a lot longer. For the stuff that they included in there, easily could have been way longer. But I think that's just because it was so, like, dense. Like, yeah, you really have to get sucked in and immersed, which is, like, I haven't been able to do that in so long. It was so refreshing. I was like, it's still possible. Still possible to be, like,
my brain is so happy from this movie. Like, even thinking about it, my brain's just like, yes. Oh my gosh. I do like that they kind of went a very different route with the whole like multiple universes thing, because I feel like we've seen like a lot of different types, and they almost all have like a similar through line of like, oh yeah, this happens, but then someone did this and it created a branch. But for them, they're just like, yeah, no, every single choice you make makes a branch. Like, that's just how that works. And then each universe that branches off of that, it's the same thing. So there's just like it's like absurd, but it's like, yeah, no, it would be absurd if this were true. Like, this would be absolutely insane, and they just kind of leaned into it, and I loved it.
Yeah, that's another hold on, I have to cough. Oh fuck. Whew, that's another review I saw, like a bad review. Someone who got led on by the trailer. They were like, I thought, like, after seeing the trailer, that it was going to be a movie where they like hopped universes and like they explored every single different universe. And then when it wasn't that, yeah, they were like, what the fuck is this? Yeah, but then I agree with you. Like, I think that's something that people are used to seeing, but it's good that it wasn't that. It's something new.
I just love that it's such a simple plot, and it's so just heartfelt. Like, I really love that it was a lot more focused on the relationships of like everyone than it was the universes and everything.
Yes,
and it was interesting because the universes were also deeply related to the relationships. Like, none of those other universes would have happened without the relationships of the characters and how they interacted with each other. Right. And I like that they made a point to like make sure that the audience knew that these characters interact in every universe, which I thought was like especially interesting.
Yeah.
Because like the daughter is essentially her daughter in every universe. The mom she like has some type of like love with the husband, or with the Jamie Lee Curtis's character, who we haven't talked about yet. The tax lady. She has a
weird name. I know. I can't remember her name.
I can't either. It's like, I can't say it. Like, it's an incredibly hard to say name.
Like I don't even know it.
Deirdre?
I feel like it's probably said in a normal way, but it's spelled weird. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, I can't remember how they said it. But yeah, her. And I like that, like, you didn't, like, it wasn't, like, just, like, someone was saying that they thought it was super cool that, like, Michelle Yeoh's character in this film, like, the other universes, like, had different, like, types of love that were, like, explored, like, because you have the one that she's in now where she's, like, my husband. And then she kept being like, oh, but I actually like my husband from this other universe more. And then she was like, you should have seen what my life would have been without you. Like, it was awesome, and I want that. Which I think is an incredible thing to just, like, she really just admitted that. And I was like, dang, that's harsh. But also, at least you know. Like, at least you can, like, acknowledge that. Because a lot of people have those feelings, and they can't say it. or they like just
Right.
kind of stay there, and it's like, dang, that sucks. But then there's like the universe with the raccoon and Harry Shum
Yes.
Jr. Raccoony,
Yes.
which is so freaking funny.
It's so cute.
Oh my gosh. And how like she meets them and they have some very odd love for each other of like, yeah, we can't operate without each other kind of a thing. And then the universe where she's got hot dog hands.
Yeah.
Which I'm not gonna lie, that one threw me. I was like, you're joking. That's so funny. I was like, this is the stupidest thing I've ever seen. And I was like, this is also disgusting. And I was like, I hate it. But it's so funny.
Yeah, it's pretty genius.
Yeah. But like even her feelings for Deirdre? Miss Deirdre. I don't know how to say it. In that universe, like ends up coming through to helping her in the universe that we start off in. And like just an understanding of both of those like characters and people. And I just thought it was super cool that we got to like witness all of that, and that all of the characters end up growing from their experiences with each other in every universe. Which is super interesting because only her and the daughter actually like are aware of the fact that they're in every universe, which is crazy.
Yeah. Honestly, I just think it's a cool movie because it's like you never really see like older main characters, especially moms. And for it to be a movie that's not just about like being a mom, you know, like it's about so much more than that.
Yeah, like coming into your own. Like I think it's actually really smart how they made it centered on the version of Evelyn that was living the worst life.
Yes.
Living her worst self.
Yes.
Like they say, Evelyn, the reason that you have it's because you're living your worst self. And she's like, okay, that literally is horrible of you to say. But like it makes sense because that also, like, yeah, if you're living the worst, there's so many opportunities for anything else to happen. Like even just, I guess, in life, like it's kind of like hitting rock bottom. There's no bottom. There's only up, you know?
Right.
And so I thought it was really smart to start off like especially to have that as the character that's centered. And I think that it's really interesting just in this time that we're all living in. Like I know the movie was probably written way before like COVID, but it feels so relevant, you know? Just like everyone's kind of like, my life is not how I thought it was going to turn out or whatever, and they're all kind of dealing with that. And then also we've got like your younger generation, like the daughter, who is quite literally experiencing everything everywhere all at once, and you know, Gen Z kind of just being like, hey, we're like super depressed because we can't like turn it off. We just keep getting it. Like not only that, but like we have our generational traumas that we're aware of now because someone thought it was a great idea for us to actually be like aware of our emotions and like our family traumas, and like now I'm aware of it and I like, wow, this sucks. But like at the same time I want to change it, but like does it matter if I change it because like all of these things are happening in the world that seem really bad, and it honestly doesn't seem like I'm gonna even make it to 30 kind of a thing, which is very much the daughter's character of just like there's no point to anything, so why bother. And I loved that the mom ended up almost being that and then wasn't. I absolutely loved that plot choice. I loved it so much because it was such a like a simple, deep, like human understanding of like she is the villain because nothing matters and she like hates everything, right? And the one thing she wants out of all of these universes is to be with her mom. I'm crying.
I'm dead.
She was like, I just want to like be with my mom. Like I just want her to understand. Like I just want to be with my mom. And I was like, oh my God. Like everyone relates to that. at some point in their life, like even if they hate their mom or they like had a really bad like relationship with their mom, or like even don't even know their mom, like everyone has that just like inherent like want of a mother, or like wanting to know them, you know? And it's just so crazy. Like they took that and just, I don't know, they kind of just punched everyone in the gut with that one. I was like, oh my gosh, like that's such a relatable instance. And for the daughter to go through that and the mom to realize like, oh, okay, well, if I'm gonna beat you, I have to understand you. And in order to understand you, I have to go through everything that you're going through. And I'm gonna forcibly put myself through that. And then she does all of that. And then she ends up getting to that point where she's like, okay, you're right. Nothing matters. So why bother? Like that like super depressing like thing that we all have as like human beings. And then the father's character is like so precious. We love women. Love women. But to have him be like, yeah, I mean, you probably, like that entire monologue when he gives the thing of like, oh yeah, you probably think I'm weak from his other universe. Like you probably think I'm weak for like not doing all of these things, or like I'm spineless and whatnot, but the reason I'm doing is because that's the only way I can survive. And it's like a very different way of looking at like cynicism in a way of like he's still like he's very much aware, but because nothing matters, you can also just be like, well, it doesn't matter anyway, so I'm not gonna have this be a horrible experience for me. And I just thought it was super cool to have all of those connected, because once she realizes that, like, as a mother, she realizes, like, not only her own pressures that she's putting on the daughter to feel the way she is, but also that the daughter doesn't understand that, like, oh, you actually do like me. Like, I didn't think that was a thing, or like, I don't know, we just don't understand each other, and so I just assumed that it was just always going to be like this. And I thought it was really cool that like she purposefully did the things that she needed to understand and to like make the change and like gain the perspective, and then some.
Yeah. Fuck. Yeah. I kind of liked how at the end, like during that scene when the mom is like comforting her and they're like outside by the car, you know, she stops her from driving away.
Yeah.
After
that's the only scene that she brings in to that universe something from a different universe.
What?
Like before that, they never acknowledge any of the conversations that they have in a different universe until that point.
Oh, like, oh yeah, when
because she brings in the conversation from when they're rocks. Yeah, and I was like, wait, like it's such a weird moment. But go ahead.
No, but doesn't she like? Don't they do that like a lot? Like, remember how when when she's talking about to the Deirdre girl, and she's like, "No, you're not unlovable," but she says that across universes. Is that what you mean?
Doesn't that happen after?
That was way before. I'm talking about the end of the movie when they're out by the car, and then she's like, "Oh, we can do whatever we want." Yeah, that was like the end of the movie.
That car scene, okay. Not the one outside the laundromat.
No, yeah, that one. Like it's at the end. Basically, whatever. I'm not even trying to talk about that scene. I'm just trying to talk about how from that scene it cuts to black, and you don't know if you don't know what universe she's in. And yeah. I thought that was kind of crazy because it's like, because when they were in the laundromat and having the party and stuff, that was a separate universe from the original, what's her name? Evelyn. Fuck. That's a separate universe from the original Evelyn. So it's like, you don't know, but it's like, you can't, it's like that Inception sort of ending where it's like, you don't know if he's dreaming or not, but it's like, does it matter? And it's like, it kind of makes you wonder, like, she's happy. It's like, does it matter? I don't know. It's like a whole, like, it's in and of itself, it's like a little profound question because, yeah, you don't even know.
You have no idea.
Yeah. What happened to all those other Evelyns, and like, did they have their happy ending? Because then, yeah,
I guess she knows
one
because
Evelyn's
she has to live
ending,
all of them, right?
What happened?
She would know because she has to live them all, but nobody else knows except for maybe her daughter.
Yeah.
But who has time to know everyone else's endings when you have so many of your own?
Yeah, I just thought that was a crazy choice because it's like, yeah, you don't really know. But then you'd feel okay. I don't know. Like, people wouldn't really, like, think about that in the moment. Like, when you're watching it for the first time, you're not actively like, what universe is this or whatever. It just ends nicely, and you're like, what a nice ending. I just thought that was an incredible choice to do that. It was really powerful.
I was listening to a podcast where they were talking about this movie, and someone kept bringing up the fact that it was, like, super yonic. Like, they were apparently, like, they just felt that it was very, like a lot of, like, vagina imagery. And I thought it was kind of interesting that they brought that up, because I was like, I guess, with, like, the bagel, and then how she has to open her mind, and they do that, like, weird hand thing, and it kind of looks like a vagina, like, opening. But they were talking about it in the way of, like, life, and, like, each character literally going through, like, a rebirth of themselves in the movie, but specifically between the mother and the daughter characters. And I was like, that's super interesting, and, like, I really, like, want you to expand on this.
Oh, I don't want to think about this movie like that.
Oh my god, it was so existential. They're like, yeah, essentially, like, each character, like, because they, like, because, like, everyone's connected, right? That you have, like, the mother-daughter relationship, and in order to, like, get into the new stage of life, like, they have to go through, like, a birthing process, which is, like, yeah. And I was like, that's a very interesting take. I thought it was interesting.
Whatever. Was it guys talking about that? Here, guys.
No, it was some girl.
Oh, whatever. I'm gonna fight this girl. Not everything has to be about giving birth. Whatever.
Vaginas?
Yeah.
She was talking about it more in, like, a spiritual, like, astrological, like way.
What?
She was thinking of it in, like, a astrological, like, spiritual way, if that makes sense.
But you said she was talking about pussies, though.
Well, she said, like,
I don't know. I don't like that.
Rebirth. Yeah. And, like, birthing. And then she was like, yeah, like, even some of the imagery, like, does suggest that. And I'm like, cool. I'm down.
I don't like that. Canceled.
No. Dicks are fine, but vaginas are not.
No, yeah, that's correct. Yeah, that's correct, actually.
Says the lesbian.
I was gonna be like, because you're talking about the Northmen, right? I was gonna be like, yeah. No, the problem was there was no dicks. But then, yeah, that means if there were, then it would be okay.
That's funny.
That's correct.
That's what we call a full circle callback joke, y'all.
Oh my god, that's the button. Yeah, I just hate the association of, like, pussy and giving birth. I just think it's so annoying to me. I don't know why. It's just one of those things where it's like, people will never not equate those. And that pisses me off. Because that doesn't...
Yeah.
You know?
I get what you're saying. Yeah.
I'm like...
Like, just because you have one doesn't mean that you're responsible for childbirth.
Literally, and, like, the fact that, like, so many movies that we watch, it's like girls are giving birth or, like, dying in birth. Like, it's like, that's such a weird thing, and it's like, I don't even know. I remember even watching it, like, Worst Person in the World. That was so annoying to me because she, like, there's, like, a whole scene where they're, like, talking about getting pregnant and this and that. Like, can we, like, not do that shit? Like, I don't know. It's just so, like, annoying to me. I don't know why. I don't know.
No, that's fair.
I don't know. I can't explain why. But yeah, I just wish, like, pussy shit could exist without the pregnancy, birth, that shit associated with it.
Yeah, it is, like, always associated. That's interesting.
Yeah, it's like...
Because I definitely wasn't thinking about it in that way. I was thinking of it more in the connection of, like, mother-daughter. Interesting.
Mother-daughter... Like, oh, the birth part?
Like,
It's,
yeah, like
mother-daughter?
the mom literally gave birth to the daughter, and I think there's like a
Right.
scene in there where someone's giving birth and then someone is birthed, and they like mesh those like sequences together. So it looks like Evelyn is just being born as she's like conceiving. Do you remember that? It's like one of those really quick like flashback scenes. Yeah.
I remember like she has a like flashback to her own birth. I remember that part.
Yes. So there's that, and then the scene right before it is like the conception of her daughter.
Really? Oh, I don't remember that.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't notice that.
Yeah. It was super interesting. And so they were like playing off of that, and they were like, that seems like that's also a through line between like their connection and how connected those two characters are, like mother daughter, and then the fact that like she, the daughter in every universe was like, I have to find my mom, like I need my mom, and I don't want to do this by myself. Finds her, and then essentially the mother's like, okay, in order to love you, I have to let you like do this. Like I have to let you go, essentially, even though like we're so connected. But then even after she lets her go, she's like, this, me letting you go was more you having a choice. Me actually accepting the fact that like you are your own person and you have choices. And then, but I'm still here and I'm not gonna let you just like I will always be here kind of a thing. Like we're still connected. I will follow you into whatever you decide to do instead of me trying to control you, if that makes sense. And I thought it was super, super cool because they show that like so visually with like the bagel,
yeah,
and like the rocks and like the like, because that literally changes every single universe's outcome after she decides to like ruin all of her relationships in every universe. And it was like, that's so important of like a thing to know. Like every human essentially wants that. A person that would just always be there.
Yeah.
Like it's so simple, but it's so profound.
Yeah.
Like, what was that quote? Even in a stupid universe where we have hot dog hands, we still learn to use our feet.
I can't believe you remember that quote. Wow, you're a true fan.
Dude, I'm not gonna lie. My favorite scene, and I still find it absolutely hysterical. And, like, nobody laughs as hard as I wish they would in the theater when this scene happens, when they first are rocks. And they have, like, the subtitles, and they're like, ha ha ha, ha ha ha. And then, like, but they're doing, like, extremely cinematic, like, camera work with of like a rock on the ground. And I don't know, maybe that's just like a having been a camera person and knowing like all of the things that they probably pulled out equipment wise to get those shots is so funny to me. Like it's so funny. And then like people don't even notice because they don't study like cinematography, because they'll like say something in a wide shot, right? And it'll have the subtitles on the screen, and then it'll cut up to a close-up of one rock when they say something, and then gets to the close-up of the other rock. Like, that's so stupid and so funny. But, like, yeah, that's just how typical conversations work. But, like, no one would think about that because you're not supposed to. So good. I couldn't when the stupid rock is just talking and the camera starts panning around the rock. I can't. Oh my gosh.
No, it was really good. I thought that was such like a... Yeah, and it was like funny, but it was also like a really heartfelt scene, like the quietness of it, and like when that scene happened was really like the pacing of it was nice, not necessarily like when certain actions happened, but just like the ups and downs, I think, were placed really nicely because you got like an onslaught of stuff, and then you get like a nice break and then like another onslaught, and then the last
Yeah.
break. And that was like one of those nice breaks where it was just like, you know, funny, but it was also, you know, like it's still up the tension and the drama and stuff. But yeah, that was really well done.
Mm-hmm.
It's already been almost an hour.
No, it's just so good. Yeah, I don't like. It's just so good, and I think everyone should watch it.
How are we gonna do FMF?
FMF? Oh,
The Ratatouille guy.
Harry Shum Jr. I love him.
He's famous.
I was gonna say our other option is we do 3 different versions of one guy. 3 different versions of women.
Oh my god. We could do like 3. Yeah, we could do 3 different versions of Wayman. Are there 3 different versions?
Yes, there's Alpha Waymond, and then there's
yeah,
the Waymond that we meet in the beginning.
Yes.
And then there's Waymond
From the movies.
that is the one that she doesn't end up marrying.
Yes, let's do that actually. That's a good idea. Because, yeah, Harry Shum Jr. is pretty much the only other guy like that isn't old.
Yeah, we've acknowledged that we love Harry Shum Jr.
Yes, yeah.
Thoughts, thinking. It's also weird because they're all also like the same person.
Honestly, I would probably kill the nice one. Oh wait, we don't kill people. I'm an idiot. Oh my god. I'd friend zone him. Oh
I was about to
so
just agree with you and be like, yeah, put him out of his misery.
Oh my god. I don't want to kill him. Take it back.
Save him from having to live in this horrible world. Did I learn anything from this movie?
Literally. I did not learn how to be kind. Okay, yeah, friend zoning that bitch, and then I'd probably fuck the alpha Waymond, and then marry the hot movie one.
Yeah, no, I would do the exact same thing.
Oh my god, I wish I could laugh. That's so funny. Oh god. Fuck. Yes. That was easy. Okay, what would you rate it?
Because we know in our hearts that nice Wayman is in Alpha and movie Wayman. You know?
Yeah.
They just got a little extra.
Yeah.
A little more spice.
Oh yeah. You already know. Yeah. What would you rate it?
I mean, I saw it in theaters twice, so I actually probably would consider this to be a 10 out of 10.
I was gonna, yeah, this easy 10 out of 10. Definitely. It's perfect. It's perfect.
It's such a good film.
It's perfect. It's literally perfect.
Wow.
No notes.
Have we ever had a perfect movie before? A movie that we just agree is just amazing?
Yeah.
Yeah, this might be a first.
In terms of recommending,
this is probably gonna sound weird, but I actually thought of Lady Bird a lot.
Oh no, that doesn't sound weird. That
like
sounds
specifically
right. Yeah.
because of like the mom and the daughter and how like they don't understand each other, but at the same time they desperately need each other and have to learn to like go their separate ways in both movies.
That makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of like stuff that was like kind of fun, but like
I mean, also watch Swiss Army Man, their other movie.
Oh, dude, I hate
with Daniels.
Swiss
That movie's
Army
like really weird, and it's the same kind of like vibe. But like, if you liked this and you want something even weirder, then watch Swiss Army Man.
People really liked that one. I don't understand.
It's funny.
It's weird.
Yeah, it's
That's
really
back
weird.
when A24 would make weird shit, like actually weird. Like this one's not even that bad. Swiss Army Man was like, what the fuck?
You know what? You should watch Freaky Friday.
Oh
Lindsay
yeah,
Lohan and Jamie Lee Curtis.
that's so cute. Yeah, actually,
That movie's actually great, and
that'd be
yeah.
cute.
And also
I
maybe
need to watch
17
more
again.
movies. 17 again.
Mm-hmm. Not 17 again. The Age of 17.
Oh yeah, Edge of 17. Yeah.
Not to be confused with. You know what? If you like this, you probably also would really like Mamma Mia.
What?
Yeah,
That's
the
so
mother-daughter relationship. It's
I guess so.
a
It's
through
such
line.
a different vibe.
It is, but you probably would enjoy it.
Oh
Because
my
it is
God.
a very fun movie. I want to watch Mamma Mia now.
Okay, that's all I have for segments.
Yeah, that's all we have. Thank you guys so much for listening. If you want more, we are on TikTok and Instagram at Femmenoir Podcast. Go ahead and check us out there. Follow us. We love to interact with you guys. Yeah, got a website. Go ahead and give us 5-star review on whichever platform you're at. And then yeah, I don't think I have anything else to tell you. Just follow us and talk to us so that we know if we should do more of this, because we like it and we have ideas of more things that we could do. But I don't want to do them unless you guys actually want it. So please let us know and follow us. And like, yeah. This is me begging. Anyway, I hope you guys have like a great rest of your day, week, month, whatever. Bye.
Bye.